What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Geekiverse show. We just saw Star Wars The Force Awakens last week. Holy crap, it was awesome.
Oh, dude, that was amazing.
Goodness gracious. If you can't tell, if you're friends with me on social media, I've done a good job staying spoiler-free, but you might be sick of the Star Wars stuff. What am I saying? No one's sick of Star Wars stuff.
No!
So, we, Jeff and I were at the theater last Thursday night for the 10 o'clock showing, and we decided to do 20 questions, and we wanted The Force Awakens to answer those 20 questions for us. So we'll get right to it. First off the bat, answered pretty quickly. Who is Kylo Ren?
Yep.
Were you surprised how quickly they answered it?
Actually, yeah. I thought they were going to kind of, draw that one out a little bit. Definitely, I thought that would kind of maybe be like a end of movie climax, big surprise, but it was more towards the middle, if not more towards the beginning.
I think so too. Also, I should probably note, Star Wars The Force Awakens spoilers are all over this. So
everywhere!
Answers to our burning questions are coming out here. Please do not watch this. Please do not share it with anybody if you have or if they have not seen the movie. We're pretty adamant about it. But
best idea, just go see the movie already. What are you waiting for? Seriously.
It's really... like, what are you doing? So, Kylo Ren is really Ben Solo. I love that. We'll talk about it in the spoiler cast. Question number 2. Who's Rey's family? Don't really know this.
There's some hints, but that one definitely wasn't answered in full.
And there's some dialogue from interviews from J.J. Abrams that alludes to that being revealed in episode 8 or 9.
Yeah, that's some meaty stuff for down the line.
Yeah, so we've got to... I was adamant that she was Han Solo's. Now I'm in your camp. I'm leaning towards Luke a little bit.
I don't know what camp you're talking about, because I think she's definitely Han Solo's...
Beforehand, I'll say.
Okay.
You were leaning towards Luke, but
That's
maybe
true,
you and I
yeah.
have kind of switched.
Yeah, we kind of have that in that case, because I definitely think she's Han Solo's kid.
We'll talk about it in the spoiler cast.
Oh,
a little
yeah.
self-promotion, right? Number 3, we do find the answer to this. Where's Luke?
That one didn't take long.
No.
That one didn't take long to find out.
Immediately in the opening crawl, it says Luke Skywalker is MIA, basically.
Yeah.
Now, it takes till the end of the movie to actually know where he is, but I have so many questions on what happened really between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, and more of the dynamic between Luke and Kylo Ren's relationship.
Right.
What really happened there? What caused Kylo to just lose it?
There's a conflict there that is brewing, and I think it's going to be a major part of episode 8 and 9.
I think episode 9, we're really jumping the gun here, but I think episode 9's Darth Vader versus Luke battle with the Emperor is building up to be... I'll save it. I'm going to save it.
We got a lot of Star Wars to talk about.
Number 4, do Han and Chewie make it?
Oh!
Yeah.
Right in the heart, man. Right in the heart.
Yeah, that was brutal.
I was on the edge of my seat that entire sequence.
How uncomfortable were you the closer Han got to Kylo?
Like, you knew it was going to happen, but you still wanted to stand up and yell, "No! Get out of there, Han!" Seriously.
I was so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. Because I wasn't 100% sure that Kylo was going to kill him there, but I didn't like it at all. I'm fine with the way Han died. I'm not saying that. My gosh. I remember in the theater, I was like this. I was rocking back and forth. I'm pretty sure my wife was grabbing my shoulder.
I believe it.
And TJ was probably grabbing yours.
Yeah.
Our friend TJ.
The second that Han laid eyes on Kylo Ren, I just said to myself, "Oh no. Oh no."
But Chewie makes it.
Yeah.
Yep. So you said in our Force Awakens podcast prediction show that you didn't think they could kill Han or Chewie.
I did say that.
And I
was half right.
Yes. So Harrison Ford, you got your wish, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Damn it, Harrison Ford. Number 5, does a major character die? Yeah. So that answers that one by default as well. Number 6, so who is Supreme Leader Snoke? Or who is he really? Not really answered.
I love this guy. I
really
love Snoke.
I like him. I need to warm up a little bit. A lot of people are in the camp that they don't like his CG, how he looks. They say he kind of looks like just any one of those random creatures from The Hobbit that was a little overdone with CG. What do you think about that? So is that an unfair comparison just because Andy Serkis is in The Hobbit?
I think, yeah. Also because the only way we got to see Snoke in this was as a hologram. We haven't really seen the true Snoke yet. We haven't seen, the physical Snoke.
Do you think he's huge?
That's something I'm really curious about now, too, because who knows if that hologram was just, like a...
Like Palpatine in Empire?
Kind of, yeah. I really hope he's huge because that, in my opinion, is such a cool kind of villain. That like I've told you before, that's a Thanos kind of character. A big, bad, mean, almost like a Sauron kind of character.
Watch the spoiler cast. My theory goes hand in hand with what you said.
Can't wait.
Yes.
Can't wait till later. I'm a part of it. If I can't wait, what about the audience, man? What about them?
You tell me. They probably think we're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, yeah, that's fair to say. Yeah, so after that, probably, I've heard rumors that episode 8, we might see a cameo, but will Lando or any other familiar characters appear? So we don't see Lando.
Right.
We see Admiral Akbar.
That's true.
Goodness, going down the list, there's a few cameos here and there.
Yeah.
No one, I think, unexpected.
Yeah, no one that maybe, no one that made you say, whoa, wasn't expecting him. It's not like... Not a lot of surprises yet, but still 2 movies left.
That's yeah, and I've got some thoughts on that.
There's only so many moments of fan service and jaw-dropping moments that you can put in.
They can only pack so much into that
exactly, and 2.5 hours.
Exactly.
Give them time.
So next question. So that one is, I would say yes. Obviously not Lando, but other familiar characters.
Absolutely.
Who is in the final lightsaber matchup? So. If I remember correctly, you predicted it correctly, the outcome. I said that in the promos, seeing Finn battle Kylo Ren was not going to be the final lightsaber battle. I didn't think it would be. I thought it would be mid-movie, if not maybe earlier.
Well, in your defense, you're kind of right, because Finn versus Kylo wasn't the final lightsaber battle.
So there's a caveat,
right? There's an asterisk on this one.
Yes, so Rey and Kylo Ren are the premier matchup.
Right.
And I loved every second of it.
Oh, that whole sequence in the forest was amazing.
Chilling.
Yeah.
I mean... Oh my gosh!
Just some of the cinematography of it. Every time they would miss with a slash, they're cutting, chopping down a tree.
How many times did they hit each other too?
There was actually a lot of hits landed in those battles.
But they're not. None of them have perfected their craft.
Oh, absolutely
So it's not like Darth Maul stabbing Qui-Gon or Count Dooku, strategically cutting off Obi-Wan's limb or Anakin's limb. Excuse me. They don't know what they're doing. They're taking these heavy lightsabers and just swinging them at each other.
The other thing I really loved was that they found a way to make it so that completely inexperienced, lightsaber users in Finn and Rey could match up against Kylo because Kylo was injured, shot by Chewie. So
and I argue also
not
inexperienced himself.
Oh, absolutely too.
Not to that level though.
That's why Snoke says at the end, "Bring him so we can finish his training." He's raw. He's not quite there yet.
He's, in my opinion, and we don't know the backstory, just past Anakin level in Episode 3. Like, he's a fresh, dark side person.
He's very unstable.
Yes, he is.
He's not, he doesn't have it all up there.
That's true. He's a complex character.
Yeah.
So next question, that answers that one, obviously.
What number are we on, by the way?
I've lost track. I don't have them numbered, I'm sorry.
Sorry, folks.
Why does Finn have Anakin or Luke's lightsaber?
Well,
Maz Kanata.
We got that one.
So that happens. Why is Rey in such despair? Not the reason I thought. She's crying over Finn towards the end of the movie, who's just injured. They confirm he's alive. He's got a heartbeat, yada yada. But and then you see the light from the trailer. So it's not fur. It's not Chewbacca. That was our concern, right?
There were a lot of people that were concerned about that.
Chewbacca is in the Millennium Falcon, and the light that's on Rey's face is because of Chewie. So that was kind of welcome for me. I didn't want to see Chewbacca. I couldn't handle Han and Chewbacca dying.
No. Oh, no.
My gosh.
No. Don't even speak of that.
That would be awful. Something you and I had opposite opinions about going in. Is Finn a stormtrooper from birth that defects, or is he in the stormtrooper costume like Luke and Han in A New Hope? And I said he defects.
Yep, and we now know who was right.
Yes, so 1 point for me on that one, but we really were split on a lot of these.
Yeah.
And you can kind of tell that, at least I did, before, in the intro sequence, when the blood falls from the hand onto Finn's face, on his face mask, I was confident that that was him.
Yeah.
He was operating a little differently. The camera was focusing on him.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they established that early.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Because it was quick, it wasn't drawn out, they didn't waste any time.
And it's amazing because they built so much character for him with that one sequence without any dialogue. He doesn't have to really say a word throughout that whole sequence for the audience to get a feel for him. You know, he's not a sadistic killer like a lot of the other stormtroopers.
Right.
You know, he's fresh, he's young.
He can think, and it's not like the clones.
And he's mortified by the kind of violence that's going on.
It adds such a human element to it, which oftentimes these movies can't. And it does. So that's answered. Next question is, why is Poe in captivity by Kylo? Happens right off the bat. Get to see a little bit of Kylo's powers and his abilities. And obviously it's not long lasting.
Nope.
Does Vader have anything to do with this movie? I say yes.
Yeah.
Not in the sense that we were asking.
Yeah.
Because Kylo is fascinated by Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader's legacy in turning to the dark side, in creating just a vast empire. And I think he plays a bigger role down the line, actually, in whether it's a flashback sequence or a ghost sequence. But I think that's happening.
You feel like Vader's shadow is looming over this film, or maybe
Yes.
this whole trilogy, perhaps.
Also interesting to note that Kylo kept referring to temptation by the light side. Never in Star Wars have they talked about the light side being tempting.
Right.
It's always been the temptation of the dark side. So he's fighting off the temptation, probably because Snoke's in his head.
Right.
That was super dark.
The other thing I thought was interesting was that he specifically referred to Darth Vader as grandfather at one point.
Yes, that was great.
Which is kind of cool in my opinion because he has almost like a emotional connection to him as opposed to just, you know, big bad Sith leader Darth Vader, grandfather. Grandfather is so much more emotional than saying, you know, Sith Lord Darth Vader. Like there's like, you know, like he has that kind of connection to him personally.
Yeah. It totally changes the dynamic of understanding or trying to understand Kylo Ren.
Yep.
It could have been totally different just by that one part of that sentence.
Right.
Everything with this movie was perfectly, well, I shouldn't say perfectly. It was all planned out.
Yeah.
Like there's no mistake. There's no kind of, you know, half-assing anything. It was all planned.
Yep.
Which is amazing. All the detail, it's crazy.
It was very well done.
So Darth Vader, we say he does. The next question was, will we see? This was your question. Will we see any new Force powers?
Ah, yes.
And we
did
do.
ask that.
We see a few.
A couple.
So we see, first off, early in the movie, Kylo Ren stopping the laser fire.
That was so cool, man.
We've never seen that. Watching Poe walk by it.
Yeah.
I saw this movie in 3D also. Very cool. That stood out. The other one is the mind power.
Right.
So he kind of manipulates, or he gets in people's heads, right? So it's a little bit different than what we've seen.
Yeah, it's not, you know, so much, like say Obi-Wan's, you know, manipulation. It's straight up, hey, this is the information in your mind, I'm taking it.
He's reaching his hand in.
Yes, he's literally putting his hand into your head and pulling out what he wants.
Super dark.
Awesome.
Will we see a flashback sequence for the first time? We do.
Yeah.
It's partial flashback, partial kind of premonition, right?
There's some mystery to it, and I like that.
So it reminded me a little bit of the Cave on Dagobah.
Yeah.
And
yes, you're right.
A little bit.
I never thought of that until now.
With Luke seeing that, I thought Rey screaming out that she's being left on Jakku when she's 5 years old. We don't know who's leaving in that ship. Obviously, we're not going to know till at least episode 8.
Right.
That was a powerful scene. Our friend TJ brought up to me. So she clearly is the child screaming that she hears when she's walking down the hallway. He said he thought it was the lightsaber story about when Anakin first became Darth Vader. The first thing he does is goes and murders all the kids. I never thought of it that way. I don't think that's what it is, but that's a super interesting take on it.
You never know.
Order 66, going into the council room and just murdering all the younglings. You know?
Hey, if Jar Jar Binks as a Sith Lord was a legitimate theory,
Yes.
anything is possible, people. Anything.
It's all good.
That's what's so fun about these movies. There's just so much lore backed into the Star Wars universe that, any idea is fair game.
I could talk probably for 2 hours by myself to that camera. Just to the camera.
I could miss work tomorrow and keep talking with you.
Okay, challenge accepted. We see the flashback. Are Han and Leia together, and why not? Totally answered both ways.
Yep.
So, that was a super touching scene. Seeing them get together, or not get together so much, but they get to... It seems like it's been a few years.
Definitely.
Right?
I really like that this film took a relatively elderly couple and made their romance, took their romance seriously. It didn't use it as, hokey or cheesy. It took two older characters who have a romantic connection, but took it seriously as if it were, two younger characters who would maybe appeal to a larger audience.
They did it so well, and Pete and I did an episode leading up to The Force Awakens.
You mean our grumpy geek, Pete?
The Grumpy Geek Pete.
The grumpy geek.
GG Pete. That's him. we
GG
did
Pete.
Yes. We did a quick segment on Carrie Fisher. I learned a lot about it from him that I just didn't know about Carrie Fisher's legacy and her life outside of Star Wars. But she was awesome in The Force Awakens.
Wonderful.
I was a little worried about her going in just because she's so funny. She is super witty. I didn't know if she could tone that back down.
Right.
She's a fantastic actress, and she hasn't lost a step.
Yeah.
She looked great. She sounded great. Her and Harrison Ford's chemistry was great just from
It's like nothing,
the original trilogy.
Like nothing changed. It's like it's 1984, fresh off,
Seriously.
Return of the Jedi set.
I also love the Death Star joke.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
They had a little bit of good banter, and then they had some good emotion between the two of them with Kylo.
Leia is such a powerful character, such an empowering character.
She's the head of the Resistance.
Yeah.
Much like she was the Rebel Alliance, right?
It's like nothing can phase her anymore. Literally nothing can make her blink or flinch anymore.
I think she's got a big role in Episode 8.
I hope so. I really hope we see a lot more of her.
And I think I don't think we're going to see a Han and Kylo-esque interaction, but I think there's going to be some sort of interaction between her and Kylo. And
I hope so.
Oh man, get ready for the darkness for Episode 8. So Han and Leia, we answered that. Next question, do any previous trilogy characters have kids? Also answers that question.
Yep.
So this question was mine. I would have bet money on it. Does Finn lose his right hand? He had Anakin and Luke's lightsaber.
Yeah.
It's like the curse of that lightsaber.
Pretty much.
So maybe Rey will lose her right hand at some point. But it's just kind of an ongoing Star Wars joke that whoever holds that lightsaber, it happens to.
Yeah, he only got half his back sliced off a little bit, so he's fine.
Yeah, just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound.
But a mere scratch.
That's now cauterized, probably infected a little bit, burned. Poor kid.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
What's the new musical score that we're all going to remember? I have an answer. I don't know if you do. It's Rey's theme.
Yeah.
Loved it.
It's nice. Definitely beautiful.
It was beautifully crafted by John Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He's 83. Speaking of having not lost a step at all, my goodness, he's the man.
Music talent doesn't fade.
Never.
Doesn't age.
I would argue it gets better.
Probably.
By the soundtrack, it's track 2 on there. It captures Rey's kind of almost seemingly like innocent spirit. She's youthful. She doesn't really know what she's getting into. It kind of hints at a broader narrative, which obviously is what we're getting into because she's the star of this new trilogy.
Yeah, we'll talk more about her later, but I adore Rey.
Yeah, Daisy Ridley knocked it out of the park.
100%.
They couldn't have done a better job.
What a
And
character!
I can't wait to see who she's related to
Yep.
because that'll make it even better for me.
It's Han, by the way.
Okay, I'm 50-50, so whatever. We should talk Episode 8 prediction soon. Pete kind of yelled at me the other day when I said
agree.
it.
Why not?
This is number 20.
All right.
Who is Maz Kanata referring to with all that eye lingo in the trailers? She doesn't say the same thing in the trailer that she does in the film.
Right.
She examines Finn's eyes, but she doesn't have that full eye dialogue that she says. There's a lot of dialogue from the 3 trailers that was clearly just made for the trailers.
Which is fairly common in
True.
film advertising.
I was hoping a little more would carry over, because Star Wars generally it does carry over, but it has, excuse me, it has not so far.
And one word can send the entire fan base into a spaz fest. So
Every word has to be crafted, that's
Yes.
for sure. So in the trailer, I think she's talking about Rey.
Mm-hmm.
I think going back, because Maz has Anakin and Luke's lightsaber, that first, I don't know how it got into her possession. She said in that it's a story for another time, right?
And I love that.
Oh,
I love
man.
that.
It's like they reach out and go, oh, we're going to wait and save it for next week's episode, right?
I kind of like that. And I love Maz.
Except next week doesn't come till summer of 2017.
Yeah. Oh, wait, that's not what next week at all. Oh, my gosh.
No. So, 520 days and counting.
I love Maz, though, too. What a great character.
She was really good.
Yeah.
Her CG character from Lupita looked fantastic.
Yep.
I really liked her voice work too.
Very good.
And some people are saying, she's the new Yoda. Like she's the new Yoda. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying she's her own new character. And I hope she plays a consistent... She has an arc in this new trilogy. That's what I'm looking for.
You get kind of like a motherly sense from her. Like she seems very genuinely concerned and interested in Finn's and Rey's destinies.
I love that she calls Chewbacca her boyfriend.
That's cool too. That's just
Where's my boyfriend?
That's hysterical.
That was great.
That's just such great camaraderie, if you would call it, between your cast of characters.
It was the funniest Star Wars movie of all of them.
Absolutely.
Hands down to me. But 20 questions, answered most of them. So we came up with that kind of on the spot. Probably had been thinking about it for a few months.
Oh, yeah.
If not before that. But I know we're going to have a lot more questions coming up. This movie produced a lot of new questions.
Yeah, really.
So for everyone it answered, it probably spouted 2 new ones.
Yep.
But they did it in a manner that didn't leave me feeling like I was wanting more.
Right. It's like Prometheus, except we're happy with the way this one ended.
Yes.
Prometheus gave us a lot of questions. And
I'm satisfied.
And we were all mad about it. Exactly. We have a lot of questions now, but we're happy about it.
I'm satisfied, but you know me, I want Rogue One here now. I want Episode 8 here now.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Me too, man.
Goodness gracious. Well, did you have any questions that we didn't have? We want to hear in the comments below. Visit us on our YouTube channel. Just search The Geekiverse. You can actually download our podcast now on iTunes for free. Just search The Geekiverse again. And then we're on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook.com/Geekiverse. Twitter, we are at @_Geekiverse. Same for Instagram. So for Jeff Pavlak, I'm Josiah Leroy. We'll talk to you soon.